Well, hello there.
Hello?
First things first, we just took a massive L. The bump stock ban case has been denied hearing by the Supreme Court, which means the decision that favors the ATF stands and they can now call a butt stock a machine gun, which is false, but this is where we are.
Fuck.
I think this is a very novel opportunity, and this is my third time doing this video. And you'll see why, hopefully not later. But these gun channels need to stop overpromising. All this stuff where it's, oh, this is gonna take down the NFA, or oh, this is gonna happen. Let's stop doing that. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Let's do our due diligence, get everybody in the fight, and deliver realistic expectations, because if you continue to overpromise and underdeliver, you're gonna burn people out. You're gonna fuck up motivation, and it's gonna mess up our forward momentum. Stop doing it. It doesn't work.
Whatever, I do what I want.
You might be getting that 3 to 5% ad revenue bump or viewer count or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna help you, because we're gonna lose more rights like this. So these short-term gains are not worth long-term losses, and some of which will be permanent. I'm gonna pretend she's not up here. Yeah, perfect. Supreme Court decisions. I'm gonna save you clicking on about 6 to 8 months of clickbait videos from all these gun information channels, because it's getting worse. I thought they were gonna quit. I thought they were starting to like clean it up a little bit, and right back to it. It's like a fentanyl addiction to them. I don't understand why they do. Yes, I do. They're looking for a 3 to 10% bump in views for the panic scamper of a clickbait title. But every single case that was headed to the Supreme Court that was already decided, that everyone's like, oh, we're going to the Supreme Court now, on assault weapons bans, on magazine limits, on all these things, XYZ, everything that was going is no longer gonna go, because the Supreme Court's gonna GVR it all the way back down and have them hear it using the Bruen standard. So if they're not using the Bruen test, then the Supreme Court's gonna be like, hey, listen, I'm sick of doing all this extra work. You need to rehear the case with this decision in mind and stop giving us more headaches, essentially, is what they're saying. But every single one of these cases for the next 6 to 8 months are going all the way back down, because the district courts don't want to make a final decision on guns because they're all scared. So it's going to go back to the original court, and guess what? It's going to hop up each rung of the ladder till we get back to the Supreme Court. So don't sink yourself into some of these updates, because it's going to cost us way more money, and we're all going to have to give way more money to the people fighting it, and it's going to take way more time. People want to pretend like these are good moves, or, oh, this is good. It's not. The same shitty people that gave us the shitty decisions that we're pushing into the Supreme Court anyway are just going to repeat those actions. So yes, Judge Benitez is going to rule the same exact way. Great, he's an awesome judge. He's a constitutionalist. Then it's going to go to that same district court, and guess what? They're going to rule the same exact way. And then it's going to go back up. So all those steps have to continue, massive expenditure of money, and this cycle's just going to keep going until we're back at the Supreme Court. But you're going to get a bunch of dumbass clickbait videos between now and then, and it's going to be annoying. I'm at my wit's end with these clickbait videos. If I continue to see them, I'm just gonna unsubscribe from these people and do my own research. It's getting annoying. I watched an armed scholar, and I listen very clearly, please. I do not dislike these people, all right? I've already unsubbed from Langley Outdoors Academy, because it's like 5 or 6 minutes and nothing. It's like, and he's not a bad dude. He's not a bad guy. I don't dislike these people, but they're just spinning their wheels. I watched an armed scholar video. He literally repeated the same words. I thought the video skipped or restarted or something. He literally repeated the same exact words. I was going to lose my mind. I couldn't believe it. And then I watched another clickbait video of Guns and Gadgets, and he wasted 9 minutes of my time with a history lesson instead of just telling me what the decision was. So I know some people don't follow things as closely as others, and I know that they have to meet a certain mark for their advertisers, and I know they make money off of this. But my warning to you, and you don't have to believe me, you can tell me to fuck myself, which is probably what the response is going to be. It's going to be, hey, go fuck yourself.
I just want to tell you all, go fuck yourself.
But if you continue to do this, what you're going to do is you're going to burn out the base. You already have a large group of faithful followers and a very thick audience. They're going to show up no matter what you do. You've seen that baseline in your videos already. You're going to burn out the other people that need to get the message, because you're doing these clickbait titles, you're talking for 10 minutes about nothing, or you're giving the history lesson, or you're talking about all this stuff. Get to the point, all right? If there's no meaningful update, do something else. There's plenty of other stuff going on. It's your channel, it's your content, whatever. But we have momentum right now, and burning everybody out is not the answer. Skip wasting people's time, skip rehashes, skip all this stuff. Put the details of the case in the description. They're gonna get the information anyway. Just get down to brass tacks. And I know my videos are long as shit. I'm long-winded. I waste people's time too, all right? That's why I put the time code in the description so people can skip to what they wanna see and get moving. It is what it is. Stop doing this, please, because you're gonna burn people out. And that's my next point. Every single potential infringement on our rights, be it first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, any potential infringement on our rights is a problem. Any potential infringement on our privacy with our banking, tracking information, them assigning codes to purchases, which is a big deal, but it's not as big a deal as they already knew what we were buying from. They already see the company that we're buying from. It's just assigning a specific code. And yes, those codes are very important. And yes, at some point, some banks might be like, we're not gonna process those transactions. I get it, right? Every potential infringement is a problem. But like I said 100 times before in several different updates, the left is pushing a screen attack. They're launching all this stuff simultaneously, and they're trying to see what sticks. It is our job to stand firm and block all of this stuff, because anything that lands is gonna suck. But you have to prioritize. If everything is a 5-alarm fire, everyone's gonna get burnt out. You have to do a layered defense. And certain gun organizations, they can talk to each other, man. Like, there's nothing stopping the GOA from talking to the FPC and saying, look, man, this is all the shit we got on our platter. You hit these things, we'll hit lobbying, you hit the law stuff, we'll support each other. Or any of the other things that they could be doing to make a difference. But people are so concerned about lining their pockets at the end of the day, they're not worried about the actual impact of the numbers of people that they need to bring to the fight. And that's piss poor leadership. You can't burn your guys out, man. You have to decide what's important, or put all the information out there. Say, hey, here's the brief. These are the important items this month, and put time codes in your description and just go through everything. Or whatever you feel like you need to do, but stop with the clickbait bullshit and stop throwing all this stuff at people. It's sensory overload. Yes, we know there's 100 different things they're trying, but I've made 3 things right now that are super important. A list of 3, your list might be different because you live in a different state, but HR 1808 is an assault weapons ban. That's gonna ban it for damn near everybody, right? That's pretty important. Yeah, it's kind of stalled in the Senate, but it already has approval from the House. So all they have to do is vote on it and it's done. Because you know POTUS is gonna sign it. So that's pretty important, right? It's already over one hurdle. It just has 2 more steps left, which is terrifying. Then you have the ATF receiver rule, which also applies to suppressors, by the way. But the frame and receiver thing, that's kind of an important challenge. We should probably focus on that because it affects, guess what? Every single gun. And then the ATF pistol brace rule, because not only does that impact most of you that have short barrels now, but it also impacts interstate travel with an AR pistol, because that was one of the benefits, was you were transporting a pistol. So those are very important. Not to say the other things are unimportant, but based on the timeline right now, that's what's important to me, and that's what I'm going to continue to keep an eye on. These other things are very important, and I will bring them up as they fall, but it's a paradox. We have to stay vigilant, but we can't burn ourselves out in the process. I'm not advocating for any of this stuff to pass. All of it's dog shit. All of it's going to take something from you and give you nothing.
Oh, you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Our rights are not for them to take. That's what the Bill of Rights is in the first place. The Bill of Rights wasn't granting us rights. It was highlighting the rights that we have. So this stuff is very important. The other thing that's important is, since we just took this L for the bump stocks, we need to hand the ATF L's on both the receiver and suppressor rule change and the pistol brace rule change, because that has to do with Chevron deference. And I'm telling you right now, if they get 3 wins on Chevron deference, tic-tac-toe, they're going to start coming after parts next. They're going to start coming after buying parts online and all this other stuff. So these are very important items that we cannot sleep on. My list might be different than yours. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, for me, based on what I'm looking at, those 3 are very important. All of it is, but we need to start knocking these things out. And once it's assured that they're defeated, keep processing the threats as they pop up. We can't just meet this screen attack with chaos. It has to be concentrated on what are the biggest threats, then start processing your way down and get wins where you can. That's how we're going to defeat this stuff. I'm recording this on Tuesday, October 4th. Probably going to go up Wednesday, October 5th. But right now, today, there's 35 days left. Wednesday, October 5th, there will be 34 days left till the midterms. I'm going to get the inevitable 10 to 15 comments about just vote harder. That's fine. I'm hoping to convince a few of those people, or they'll cuss me out as they go vote. But we have to vote in these midterms. It's not an option. We have to get out en masse and start turning this around, because the source of our problems are things that we let slip in the first place. And I know people have election concerns. I understand, and I have to be very careful with anything I say on that topic, especially careful actually. So I understand your concerns, and I would be concerned about any process that I don't have direct visual on myself. But we still have to go vote. We still have to use the tools available to us. And I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but we need to get out there and vote. Everyone needs to get informed. Look at the ballot, see who's running, do quick research on the candidate, and vote for the person that's going to represent you the best. And look at where you're at now. Look at your financial situation. Look at your food in your house. Look at the activities you're no longer able to do financially, and remember what they took from you. And take that motivation to the voting box and be the change you want to see. That's where it starts. You have to take ownership of what's going on in your community, your state, and your nation. If you're not doing those things, then you're not meeting the bare minimum criteria for anything else, as far as I'm concerned. I know people are conflicted about it. I know people absolutely hate the way certain things are, or how things turned out, or how things should have turned out. But it doesn't matter. This is where we're at now. It's like being in a battle. It didn't go the way you wanted it to, that's fine, but we still have to pick ourselves back up and keep pushing. Otherwise, we're just gonna get steamrolled. And I don't wanna get steamrolled. By the time this video goes up, we are 34 days out from an election, and you cannot afford to sit it out. All right, quick channel business. I got another ship, some more 5th Fleet deployments for me, or World War III, what? Who knows? I might get a car after all. Hopefully I'll be behind a 240, maybe a 50, I don't know. One of you in the comments once told me, get rid of that stupid stock on your URGI and put a SOP mod on it like a normal person. Well, you finally won, dude. Congratulations. So I changed the lower out completely, and I took the SSA that was in there, the maritime bolt catch that was there, and now it's completely swapped out. It's a cheap ass aero lower M4E1 with Geisley parts, the whole Geisley lower parts kit. Some formerly awesome forward control design parts, a Geisley buffer tube, and a SOP mod. The reason I'm doing that is because the other 14.5s in my house have SOP mods. So every single 14.5 is going to be set up the same within reason. There's going to be minor differences. Like my Super Duty with the D-ball on it is going to have a slightly different setup because I have to have my hand placed differently, but I'm going to standardize my LPVOs that I'm using. So 11.5s will have a 1:4, a Steiner P4XI. The 12.5s that I'm slotted to do, I got to figure out. All 14.5s are going to have a 1:6 that I select. I'm obviously excited about the T6 XI, the 1:6 first focal plane, if you saw that shitty video I put together. And if not that, then probably an SAI or the Trijicon Credo 1:6, which I'm still a big fan of. It might just be Trijicon Credos for price considerations because I need to buy more suppressors, nods, and a helmet. So those are very expensive. So I need to make sure I'm making smart choices. The 16 inches are gonna be SPRs, and yeah, that's about it there. And I need to finish these projects. I need to quit fucking around and just finish these projects. I am on the fence about selling the Razor. There's times where I use it and its flaws jump out at me harder than anything, and I get mad and it slows me down. Then there's other times where I just pick it up and use it and it's just fine. So I don't know what the deal is. Obviously the diopter's not moving and all those other things because the image is the same. But sometimes the fisheye is extremely prevalent and sometimes it's not. So I'm gonna continue to shoot it. I think what I'm gonna do is move the 1:10 over to one of my 16 inches and call it a day. Standardize all the 14.5s with 1:6s, the HKs with 1:8s, and just continue to get 1:8s from here on out. I'm not buying another Vortex. Probably another Vortex anything, honestly. So we'll see, but standardizing rifles, and I'm going to start building loadouts and kits. So we'll go from there, which essentially will mean, for instance, this isn't what I'm doing, but for instance, my M16A4 would always be with the Beretta. So I know, hey, I'm grabbing this kit box. It's gonna have this equipment in it and it's gonna do this. So then I'll be ready for whatever. It's a lot faster to grab and all that stuff. And I'll know what I'm doing once I strap the gear on. And not everything's gonna be in a box. Some things will be much more ready than others, but that's what I'll be pushing for. Because I gotta do stuff with all these guns, you know? It's not all about just having fun. So there's that. Lastly, I'm working on a bunch of projects. They're gonna take forever. The whole Recce reality check series that I'm doing is funny, but it takes a lot of editing, a disproportionate amount of editing. And I have to do a terms like intro video, and then I'm gonna do going out on a Recce mission reality check, and then a rifle reality check, and all this other stuff. So it'll be fun, but I also don't want to run them all back to back. I got to do other projects. So probably gonna drop it one at a time, one per month or whatever. We'll figure it out. And I need to get to the range. So probably this weekend or next weekend, I'll be able to make up that range day I missed because of all my visitors and the hurricane. So hopefully everyone's doing well out there. I know I'm getting a little fatigued with some of these people that I could just not watch, but I also want to be informed. So hopefully they just make important adjustments and fix themselves, but I highly doubt it. They're not going to listen to me, and then the Leviathan group and I don't have the best history. But they're probably not going to listen to me. They're going to say I'm coming after them and attacking them and I want them to fail and I hate the Second Amendment or some shit. I don't know, but you know, we'll see. Fuck it, I don't care. At the end of the day, all I want is a bunch of people that are going to stand up together and make sure we don't lose our rights. And yeah, a lot of that. And having led people here and there throughout my career, I can tell when people are getting burned out and fed up. And if it's happening to me, it's probably happened to a bunch of other people before it happened to me. And I'm not, I don't have the patience of a pastor, as they say. So, yes, sir. Well, I guess that's my cue. I better get going. I fed him, but I guess it didn't matter. He's a grown boy. Hope you all are well. Thanks for watching. Take care out there.